Hi all, and welcome back to my channel, and welcome to another installment in the ever so inspired by Audra and Emily hand video series. We are talking about even more makeup we, either you or I, love to hate. These videos are meant for discussion, they're meant for a little hyperbole, just for us to sort of talk about things, you know? I like talking about makeup in more than just a, ooh, look a pretty eyeshadow sort of way. And in today's climate, there is such a thing as brand responsibility, brand owner responsibility. You know, we're not just out here letting these companies get away with shiz, and we as the consumer are becoming much more enlightened. And as such, a makeup-based discussion becomes a thing. And sometimes, I mean, quite honestly, it has been like scientifically proven that it's good to vent, so sometimes it's good to just trash talk, all right? I understand sometimes we need to give companies slack, but I also understand that in the long run, none of these companies care about you or me. So I don't feel bad throwing around a few choice words every now and then. You have not seen the first part of this? We'll leave it down below, as well as Audra's and Emily's channels as well, because they are fan-tucking-fastic creators on this platform. Go show them beautiful babes some love. Okay. Alright, we're going to start off with another thing that was discussed in their live stream that led to me even doing these videos. It is something that I have anti-hauled repeatedly on my channel, and that is food themed makeup. This is definitely something that I love to hate. It gives me so much agita. I love well done food themed makeup, especially if it's done in a when it's artistically and aesthetically done well. An example that I tend to give are the BH Cosmetics Sweet Shop eyeshadow palettes, where they're alright. We've got an ice cream cone, and they made a correlating palette for like each ice cream scoop inspired by that specific color story. You have all the palettes, they also stacked up to make the ice cream cone, which was sort of a packaging added bonus. But what I don't like, and what I love to hate on, and what I feel a lot of food makeup suffers from, it suffers from this whole concept of, well, it's food makeup, especially when you take a sort of food theme that opens itself up to a lot of interpretation. And then you have this issue of, well, you're open to interpretation. Let's just sort of take this thing and throw up a bunch of eyeshadows into it. But it's okay that it doesn't make sense, because there's a lot of craziness going along in this theme, so it's okay. So we can get away with having just absolute eyeshadow vomit in this thing. Maybe some people like eyeshadow vomit. I don't know. I am not here to police. Y'all do what you want to do. But I would have a lot more respect for the company, and I would actually be more inclined to buy it if, you know, they were just like, you know, named it eyeshadow vomit. I'll be like, okay, all right. A level of self-awareness that we have not seen within the industry for a very long time. But these just sort of overarching, throw everything in sort of theme. It's just like this, like, why can't we just focus on more nicely curated palettes rather than being like, oh, look, it's a taco. It's a piece of pizza, it's a cake, it's an ice cream, it's a burger slider, it's an avocado, it's an orange, it's a kiwi. Have we had a hot dog palette yet? If we haven't, I want royalties, Glamlight. It's just a theme that I don't necessarily excessively vibe with. It was cute the first couple of times, you know, and it's cute in thematic doses. Like there was that one palette that wasn't actually a thing, that was like this little like dill pickle palette. I could be biased because it was an all green palette, but I do enjoy a much more curated collection, and these food ones just, I feel like they lose control really quickly of where these things are going, and it falls under the whole, well, you have everything under the sun because it's an ice cream palette, because it's a cake palette, so to have every single freaking bright color in the world in this palette makes sense because it doesn't make any sense. But that's just me. If If y'all love your food themed makeup, you keep doing you, boo-boo. Okay. In my first of these, I talked about everyone's love, everyone's absolute passion project of hating on Jeffree Star. And I feel like I wouldn't be doing due diligence if I didn't just talk about him. Another creator that a large group of people do enjoy absolutely hating on is obviously the ever so famous, the ever so controversial Jaclyn Hill. Whether it's her doing another Morphe collab to her trying to launch her own brand, there always seems to be something that Miss Hill has done that elicits a negative response from the surrounding audience. I mean, we don't like lipsticks with metal in them. We don't like being told that they're safe to use. We don't like not receiving refunds. Don't like being told we're stupid. We don't like being sold the same crappy eyeshadow palettes, which I understand that's also a lot on Morphe. I mean, I don't like them either. But when it comes to influencers, and when it comes to problematic influencers, it comes to influencers who have been on this platform for such a significant time, you would think that they would have sort of embodied a certain level of morals and trust and relationship with their subscribers, rather than sort of having this selling your soul for money situation. Which, don't get me wrong, I understand that money can change a person, but if money changes you, be all like, hey guys, I used to be all kinds of relatable now, but I am popping up to the Gucci store. You know, don't try to be like, oh, I shop at Walmart, and then be taking an Instagram photo with you holding a Louis Vuitton. Just tell us you like Louis Vuitton. It's okay. You'd be more relatable. You'd be more relatable even if you're richer if you were just honest about your likes and what you did, rather than going back and forth and being like, no filler, no, I try to hide my design or whatever. You know, there's just so many things that go into the reasoning behind people giving her so much crap. Are some things unwarranted? Absolutely. I will say the same thing. When you reach the level of the only thing that you can come up with is trashing someone's appearance, that's because you're too stupid to come up with something that's actually intelligent. Hate to break it to you, but attacking someone's appearance is like the lowest of the low. It's like when people enter in the comments, I don't like your nose. And I'm like, I would say I'm sorry, but I'm not. It's my nose. I mean, you can give me Venmo the money me for having a surgery. If it offends you so much, all right, put up the cash. Let's see it. So people who are all like, oh, look at her face and she's fat, and she's like, no, that's not productive. That's not necessary. But at the same time, this falls under content creator responsibility. Jaclyn Hill has a huge platform. Sometimes even people who aren't within the beauty community know who Jaclyn Hill is. She is someone who has made a substantial living off of being a YouTube creator, off of being an influencer, off of being a collaborator with like one brand, but you know, it is what it is. At the end of the day, we all gotta pay our bills. And so I must admit, I am not a huge fan of Jaclyn Hill. I love the original Morphe and Jaclyn palette, the one that they've now changed the formula on. Didn't like the vaults, was super tempted by that second palette with the pinkies and the reddies and the purples and the oranges. That shiz was my color story thing. But just on a whole, when it comes, she is honestly one of the main reasons why I'm not a fan of big influencers. I'm like, there's just so much disingenuous, and she's one of those like top tier influencers that's really started this trickle down effect of, you know, questioning people and being like, oh, sponsorships, and are people being honest, and can you trust beauty YouTubers? You know, she kind of helped create this tidal wave of disingenuine content that really made the audience question whether everything coming out of their favorite YouTubers' mouths were something they could take at face value. And that's honestly such a really sad thing, to the point where you're just like, why can't you just be straight up? Why can't you just be you? Obviously, I am a little itty baby channel. I have like this many subscribers, but I love absolutely each and every one of y'all. So I don't have the same experiences that Jaclyn has had. I haven't tasted $100,000. And so having not been in her position, I can't exactly say, you know, how I would respond if someone were to come up to me and be like, if you say this, we will give you $100,000. Because that's a lot of money. But even that being said, you can be rich. You can be wealthy without, you can be popular without being a dishonest content creator. I at least feel. Maybe you can't. Maybe when you reach, well, you can. Smoky Glow, she's got like 250 and she's one of the most honest creators out there. So there are examples of content creators who have a huge and a large platform that are honest. So I don't know what the disconnect between these people are. And there have been, I mean, it's proven that she's lied, and it's like, why? Why you gotta lie like that? Well, what is the point? If you have nothing to hide, then you don't have to lie about it. You know, if you don't have nothing to lie about, then you have nothing to hide. Just be honest. Just be forthright. People would have so much more. Lipstick Gate would have gone so much better if she had been like, all right, I picked a crappy lab. I did. Now I'm paying for that choice that I made. I apologize. I'm gonna take this one in the butt. I'm gonna deal with it. Y'all get refunds and we're moving on. She would have had so much more respect and so much less backlash if she just own up to the corners that were cut, to the mistakes that were made, said this was my first time running in. I didn't make all the right choices. I will on the next run. I know what I did wrong and I know what not to do now. But no, we're telling our people that the lipsticks, you're swatching them too hard. You've got nasty looking lips. You're letting them get too hot. You're dumb. They're safe to use. So, I mean, y'all can like whoever you like, but she is definitely someone who has reached a certain level of people just like, no. No. We're not here for that. We don't need you to lie. We just need you to be honest. That's all. Just be honest and we will move on. I promise. Okay. This is going to be something that I enjoy hating on. I'm not so sure about everyone else. Obviously, feel free to discuss all this shiz down below. But one thing that I love to hate on is pointless intellectual property collaborations. A beautiful example of this is ColourPop, which is a company that loves nothing more than slapping some sort of intellectual property on an eyeshadow palette packaging and then taking the most boring same shades they use in every other release, putting it in this palette and selling it and hyping it up because it is a popular intellectual property. We've got Sailor Moon, we've got Hocus Pocus, we've got Disney, we've got Mulan. There are just all these different little intellectual thought bubbles that they're just like, all right. Take something beautifully, aesthetically pleasing like that Hocus Pocus packaging, put it on this, pour all hopes and dreams of what this collaboration could be onto the front of this eyeshadow palette, and then put an absolute boring travesty of a color story that has little to nothing to do with the collaboration itself. ColourPop is not the only one guilty of this. You got Ciate London, Miss Piggy, Jessica Rabbit. I feel like there are just so many. We got Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse and Donald Duck. We had 1,000 different Wonder Woman ones. We've had Game of Thrones, Alice in Wonderland, The Wizard of Oz, Pirates of the Caribbean, Beauty and the Beast. Just so many different things that all this was are these giant whatever cash grabs. I mean, I love seeing my favorite things get incorporated into other things that I like. I am not saying that these are bad things, but I like hating on them because they have gotten to the point that there are so many of them. You know, it's not an occasional, oh, well, let's collaborate with Disney, which Disney, I mean, just loves getting their hot little hands on any kind of intellectual property. So that's a thing in and of itself. You just have all these random things where you're just like, okay, all right, it's a collaboration with Coca-Cola. You know, it's just, I am waiting for the Tarte X Duck Dynasty collaboration collection. I admit that's less intellectual property and more, you know, TV show, reality star, famous person collaboration. You know, we've had all kinds of Marvel. We've had Harry Potter. We've had Star Wars. And these things, for the most part, get so much hype and press. People lose their minds. Not gonna lie, I got all hot and bothered by the Sailor Moon collection. Did your girl want to drown and bathe herself in nothing but Sailor Moon themed makeup? Yes. Yes, I absolutely did. But just because you like something doesn't mean you can't acknowledge its faults. And so there's just, I guess part of my whatever is just that there's so many, and it's just so many. We had a Frida Kahlo. I love Frida Kahlo, but we got a Frida Kahlo makeup collection at Ulta that was sitting there in the clearance section. Had I heard about it before I saw it sitting there? No, because there are so many other things coming out, so many other collaborations, you know? We have the Funko, Disney, Ulta, whatever. Just every time you turn your head, there is some other intellectual property, some kind of licensed collaboration, which is nothing more than an excuse to put money into packaging and then sell subpar makeup products. Because they're selling the aesthetic. They're selling the licensing. It gets to a point where it's no longer about the makeup. It's about the marketing and the selling. And I understand, we all need to understand that these companies, their job is to make money. I can't sit here and be mad at them for the hustle because they're doing what they do. I do YouTube because I love it, but it also makes me money. I like views because views make me money so that I can buy my cats cat food. And that way they won't eat me alive at night. So for all of you watching, thank you for helping me keep my cats from murdering me in my sleep. But you know, there's just all these, it's just marketing the thing, you know, it's just, you know, people are hyped because it's Hocus Pocus. People are hyped because it's Sailor Moon. People are hyped because it's a Baby Yoda palette. We are holding brands to a higher standard to a certain degree about correlating color stories, but it's just a push. I can't tell you how many absurd, mindless cash grabs there have been between licensing. I mean, Pure X Barbie, a cosmetic company that I don't think about Barbie, and they've done this twice. Obviously, I am not a marketing major, although I've thought about going into marketing and business just so that I can maybe understand all of this. Although I'm not sure if I'd want to understand because it might be that point, you know, of dripping into the matrix and then I would have too much knowledge and I would go insane. But it is very interesting and intriguing that just what goes behind this. Obviously, it's money. It's money that makes the world go round. Just all the pointless, random, chaotic, licensed collaborations and intellectual property collaborations are the epitome of chaotic neutral. They could just go either way. They're just thrown into the mix and we'll see what happens. Okay, we might as well end on one that I am very passionate about, and that is holiday releases. Yay! It's Christmas time! And this past year, Christmas started in August. Y'all, I hadn't even gotten my spooky on. I hadn't had a slice of turkey, a piece of pumpkin pie, a smidgen of cranberry sauce before these holiday releases hit the shelves. I used to be one of those people for like 3 years in a row. I bought the Tarte and the Tarte holiday sets and the Too Faced holiday sets. Ones with the mini lipsticks and then the eyelash, the mascara and all the little things. It's a $225 value, but we're selling it to you for $49 because it's the holidays. If there is one thing that I have learned on my journey through this platform is that holiday is a joke. Holiday is the epitome of marketing at its worst base core. It is about shilling as much product as we can. And it's not just the beauty community. You know, Halloween, it was even before the end of Halloween. And they're like, well, we're doing Black Friday. And I'm like, people, it's not even November yet. Please calm the F down. It's everything. You know, we've got Black Friday sales. We're having pre-Christmas sales. It's only so many sleeps before Christmas. And then we're going to have, you know, after Christmas, January sales. And the frustrating thing with it being in the makeup community is the fact that it is 9 times out of 10, I feel, makeup produced specifically for being sold during holiday is a lower quality. That is the problem with the tagline of limited edition. During the holidays, they can slap limited edition on whatever the frig they want, and it doesn't matter if it's bad because they're making it once. They don't have to give a flying whatever about any sort of quality control. They're just gonna take this shiz, all the crap they got in the back, throw it into some, I don't know, great deal holiday packaging with a bedazzled snowflake on it. Tell the consumer it's worth $1 million and sell it to them for $20. And then the quality is going to be bad and it's not gonna matter because they have your money. I mean, I love the whole dichotomy. Well, I don't love it. I'm being sarcasm. But the holidays are for family and giving. No. The holidays are for working you, milking you for every single dollar that you have saved up through the year. Buy our overpriced, underproduced, poorly formulated makeup because it's the holidays, because it comes in an ornament. It's snowflake shaped, it's red, it's special, it's limited edition. I cannot tell you how many aneurysms I've busted, how many blood vessels have exploded, how many brain cells I've murdered by talking about holiday makeup releases, because I used to be one of them. I bought them. I had to have them, and they sucked. Although I was a part of the generation that got that one holiday release that was like the bomb diggity shiznit before they just went, whoo! So there is that, but y'all know I hate it. If I hate it, I'm gonna make merch. It's gonna be my face doing this. And then it's just gonna have the text, holiday, across the top of it. Let me know if you'd like me to work with that, because I have an artist gal that absolutely nails my aesthetic in her work. That is where I'm gonna cut it off there. I could do this again. I could sit here and shiz talk this stuff all day long. It's therapeutic. I like doing these. It's hyperbolic. It is an outlet for me. And quite frankly, to a certain degree, to a certain level, it behooves me as a consumer to hold the companies that I am consuming from accountable for their absolute frivolous actions. I'm not Robin Hooding out here. I'm just trying to maintain a certain level of sanity amidst the absurdity that has become the consumeristic whatever in the makeup community, because just in my short time on YouTube, it's gotten bad. There is no more quality control. You're more likely, back in the days, to be all like, oh, well, you might get a dud, where now it's more likely that, oh, well, you might get something good. It is just a whole layer level of this, because holiday, it used to be like, oh, that's when the special good makeup comes out, you know, whereas now it's just like, that's where all the stupid shiz gets released, all the crap they've been holding on to during the rest of the year. They're just like, all right, release the makeup. At this point, I would rather have the Kraken than all of these stupid, useless, pointless, just all the sets, all the ornaments, all the little pre-existing makeup that they put into fancy little holiday what. I am just so over absolutely every single aspect of it. Obviously, but I can only speak for myself. Obviously, y'all can go down, discuss, do your whatevers. I do not discourage censorship. There are so many of y'all who have different opinions than me. Burp squad. And that is absolutely amazing. It is fan-tucking-fastic. Y'all keep doing you, boo-boo. But I would love to hear y'all's opinions on what I talked about. Let me know some things, some kind of makeup or whatever that you enjoy hating on. Maybe something you'd like to hear me expound on in the future of these videos. But thank you guys so much for watching. I love you. And as always, keep it real. Mwah!